as well as known as the priestess of the galactic spiral light, which is Priestess Makara. So today we have a portal day that we are on. Let me just open this up. So I have a message, and it came in at 3 a.m. Everybody at this point of the game, we all understand what that 3 a.m. business is. So let me open up our... Time is flying by so fast. Okay, so today we are on the white rhythmic mirror guided by endlessness. Okay, so let me pull that up. Today is May 21st on the Gregorian calendar. Hey, lovelies. Hey, lovely. Mm. All right, all right, all right. Oh, wait, I got to do two more. Mm. It's just something about this. Sometimes when it gets a little kind of weird, I just whip this out and start doing some tones with it. And I really, really enjoy listening to it. So, okay, we're going to jump into this. I have a message that obviously had to come in at 3 o'clock in the morning. So that was pretty interesting. So today we have the white rhythmic mirror. I organize in order to reflect balancing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the rhythmic tone of equality. I am guided by my own power doubled. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. The color is white. The planet is Neptune. The chakra is the solar plexus. Of course it is. And the earth family is signal. We have a rune. The 6 mental spheres of the consciousness are etherically conjunct with the brain and serve as computer or a hard drive of the mind. So basically, they're just saying we're a crystal. So the mental sphere is 6 subliminal consciousness, and then the 6-dimensional limbic force field. The hyperneutron is the subliminal of the telepathic. So a lot of activity is going to be going on right here in the head. So the rune is actually the symbol of the blue tube, and the symbol that was in the last Godzilla movie. Okay, number 123. It's the growth one. Okay, So growth, rebirth, the birch tree. Okay, Burkana. So this one is going to represent the fertility, the foster growth, both symbolically and actually. The growth may occur in affairs of the world, family matters, and relationships of the self to the self or to the divine. So what is called here is for you to consider your issue with care and awareness. And with this comes for things to happen, you must first be clear and controlled with your motives correct. Any dark corners should be cleansed. This must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. So this is all this part of where we are right now as far as this energy. So I know there's been a huge solar flash that was released, and I really feel like it already hit the planet because I would say about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours ago, I just felt this weird wave of energy hit, and it was like, boom. And I said, wow, that's not an earthquake. What was that? So we are definitely getting impacted with a lot of plasma light right now. So this morning at 3 o'clock, I was in a dead sleep, sleeping really good. And all of a sudden it's like, wake up. It's like, what woke me up is my legs started kind of spasming. And I said, oh, why do I feel like my legs are doing this spasming thing again? And I get up, drink some water, and go and get some magnesium. And I look at the time, it's 3 o'clock. And I'm like, that's 3 o'clock. Okay. So I said, I feel wide awake, not sleepy, energized. Like, okay, why am I awake at 3 o'clock? Come on, I've been doing really good. Why am I up? You want to know why? Why some of us are being waken up at 3, maybe 2:30, maybe 4, and you can't go back to sleep until all of a sudden you start to feel sleepy and you go back and you sleep for maybe about an hour or two and then you got to get up. I'm going to tell you why. Because some of us are getting this interpretation of, oh, that's when the codes are coming in. That's part of it. Not always, but that's part of it. Here's the real 411. Because of Dream World, and because of the energy and what's going on with the xenomorphs, they are coming into the dream world, hijacking people, hijacking your energy. So if your team wakes you up, they're protecting you so you don't get hijacked. They don't get your energy. So when you wake up, it's like, what the heck is going on? Why am I awake? And you're not understanding why you're just waking up. Now, put some love hearts in the chat if this resonates with you, if this feels aligned. Because if I was Source, I'm a part of Source, but if I was Source and I was watching over my family and what's going on with them, I would be waking up, wake up before they get you, wake up, wake up, wake up. They're coming into your space, wake up. It's just like in the Matrix when they're in the ship and those Sentinels are coming. So they have to kind of merge and take off fast, and then they make themselves in that invisible part where the Sentinels can't sense them. Because as long as they were doing what they were doing, the Sentinels can find them and choo. Okay? So when we're being awakened out of our dream state, and then when you can't remember what that dream state is, there's a reason. Okay? Sometimes it simply means that you're not supposed to know right now what it is, but you're going to know when you need it. Then there's this part of, if that was a false dream energy that you were getting hooked into, why would they want you to remember it? Okay? Remember, we are in a spiritual warfare right now, and all of us are coming online. So if you're being activated, they're looking for the ones that are going to make a problem for them. They're looking for the ones that are not going to comply. Just like in Divergent. Okay, they had to play it off, and you can't be a Divergent, so you kind of just walk around like this, and you act like the serum took effect, and you're cooperating, right? Hi, Nikki. So this is why this is happening. So instead of getting frustrated and saying, dang, I'm awake again at 3, say, thank you for waking me up at this time. What's the information? What is the transmission? May I go ahead and have my activations for my DNA codes, please, and my star codes? Also, go ahead and add in my sun codes and the golden codes. Also, along with that, bring in the holy blue Trinity codes. Activate my flame. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I asked for all of that, and I got all of that. So you could do it too. So that's the time when you get snatched out of that timeline. Now remember, they have those artificial timelines that they're trying to loop up with all the satellite stuff going on, and we're going into a new AI. Yeah. Artificial intelligence. Let's not forget. Wonder why they never call it a DI. Divine intelligence. They call it AI, artificial. But we overrule and overrun an AI anytime, any day, any place, because we're DI, divine intelligence. So that just feels so good to say. We are a DI, a divine intelligence. Yeah, you might think you can copy us, but you won't get the whole replication of us. Nope. So that is why that's happening. So just know this week, because the amount of energy that is taking place, there's going to be a lot of this. Okay, wake up. Wake up. Also, thank you. When this occurs, if there was a watcher in your space, even though you have your protection up and they're off into the corner, when you come out of that dream world and you feel kind of strange, like something's watching you, you'll hear a pop sound when they leave. They'll go through the wall and they leave, and it'll be a pop sound. And that's how you'll know, oh, I get it. Because as soon as I got out of the bed, looked at the clock, went in, got water, got some magnesium, came back, I'm standing, I'm stretching, and I'm like, okay, why am I feel like I slept forever. And then all of a sudden I heard this big, and I looked, and I go, oh, you probably were right in the corner, but you couldn't come in all the way. So you had to leave. So just be aware of that, because like I said, they're watching who is getting amped up. They can't stop what's happening. Have you noticed how strong that light is? We're in May. Today is supposed to be 97 here in California. I'm sorry, what? So I guess May is like, may I help you get to 97 degrees? I'm like, what? And because you'll also notice when you're getting more of your codes in, you'll get extremely hot. You'll start sweating for no reason. And then you just feel like, okay, let me get some water. The stuff is coming in, and you might get that high pitch vibrational sound, or you might feel like you're lifting, like light, like kind of like a dizziness, but it's not a true dizziness. Okay. So just know that This is what's happening. And it's going to intensify the more codes you take in and you're able to calibrate with it and integrate with those codes in a rapid form, then the more light's going to come in and hit. So there's not going to be any rest. Okay? There's not going to be any breaks from here on out. So here's the other thing they wanted everyone else to also know is those of you that are the grid workers, the ley line workers, the Stargate workers, the messengers, the crystal holders, the water coders, what's the other one? Sun code holders, star code holders, and the new crystalline earth grid holders are all happening at the same time, and everyone is in the place where they need to be, holding and anchoring the energy. Okay? So just know that you might be feeling like it's time to move, or you got to move and da 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 da. You're getting the signal, yes, but you're going to also anchor where you are before you go to your new location, because that's going to create a new line because you're the holder of it to where you're going. Okay? So understand that and know that. They say be aware of your food right now because there is a lot of sensitivity with your food. What you could eat before and now all of a sudden you're having allergic reactions with it. Be aware of that. And don't take it lightly. Get ready for the artificial showing of made up starships. Now that's been coming online pretty much, but be prepared to see the false show. Don't give in to the false line, the false characteristics. Those that are coming are already here in their locations. They are the real starships, and you will know this. The starships hold a certain high amount of what we're not used to, radiation, on their starships to do what they do. And when you're around one of those starships, it makes you feel a little nauseous and a little bit discombobulated until it's calibrated for you to handle that. Only when you're brought inside the starship is when you're calibrated, versus when a ship comes over and it's right over you and you're feeling that sensation, feeling that energy. You'll know that's the real one. Okay. Is that it? Thank you. All right. Any questions so far what I just said? Anything going on with anyone and they're feeling like, what the hell? This is the time you better make sure you are armed up. Okay? If you're a crystal holder, make sure that you are having contact with their crystals and pay attention, because a lot of the crystals are lighting up in their way because they too are getting their codes. They're living beings. And sometimes we forget that. Okay. All right. Any questions? Been trying to stay grounded lately. It's been more difficult. You know what? Make sure, and I have to tell all of you this because is the more stress that your body is under, rather it be a physical stress, an emotional stress, or that mental stress, you're using up your magnesium minerals and potassiums fast, especially magnesium. So this is where you start getting that soreness, that stiffness. And then when you do try to ground and center, you're feeling like, I can't get myself centered. Here's the way to make sure that you're timing and grounding into the right timeline. You want to make sure you drop into the sacred space of your heart, your divine soul heart, and make sure that when you're calling into yourself and when you're stating and setting the intentions on grounding, you ground into the higher organic timeline, because the artificial one is unstable, but they're still trying to hook you in through your past emotional triggers. So if you had a hard time with money so many years ago, you didn't have a good relationship with it, and now all of a sudden you're doing really well, but all of a sudden this hook energy shows up that's making you feel triggered again about money. That's a past timeline energy. Don't get tricked by it. Don't get triggered by it. Just say, oh no, that's old energy. I'm moving forward to the new organic timeline of Mother Earth. And when you're grounding and centering, you just say to Mother Earth, I'm sitting in the essence of myself. I need to ground and center into your new organic timeline. Please aid me in that. You'll feel this energy come in, and it'll just drop down into you, and then you'll feel the wave. And a lot of times what happens when we get grounded, everyone is so busy trying to just hold still. A lot of times when that energy comes through you and it comes straight down through the chakras and it hits that root and then it pushes down into the earth core, that energy, it starts to make you wave because it's connecting to your ancient snake, your kundalini. So when that kundalini gets hit, your body starts waving and starts moving, and you're kind of like, what's happening to me? Why am I waving? You want to wave. You want that energy to be waving you, because that's letting you know that you're connected and that you're receiving the energy of Mother Earth's new organic timeline. That's what you want to feel. Now, it's not to stress you out and make you feel like, okay, I'm not waving. Am I doing it wrong? No, no, no. This is where you're connecting in with your breath and making sure when you're going up through this crown and you're in that soul star and you go beyond that soul star and go up through that galactic gateway connection to source, that's what you're pulling in. And it's also telling yourself you're remembering who you are. You remember who you are, because there's that part of ourselves where we're getting numbed out not to remember who we are. We got to come out of that amnesia. The more that all of us take the initiative to remember and really start decoding ourselves and get that light as strong as you can, and you hold it and anchor it, no matter what. No matter what's going on, they're going to come at you with some stuff. They're going to try to put you down. They're going to try to keep you in sleep mode. They're going to try to just like make you think something's wrong with you. You got to go to the doctors 24/7 all the time. No, no, no. You can get yourself checked out physically to put things at ease, because then that gives you clarity of what's really going on. So then you have that. But at the same time, you're making sure that you get yourself grounded. And with that groundedness, let's not take it lightly either about when you take your showers or your baths, that you are doing that salt cleanse and getting yourself ready for the day. When you anoint yourself in the morning, you're putting on your sacred oils of protection, sacred oils that help keep your vibration good. If you've been going through a lot of craziness and getting rid of people out of your life that have been draining you and lying to you and stuff, and they're doing dark city at you, you just simply say, I stay true and sacred within my space. I return it all back to sender of negativity that's sent to me. Okay? Anything that's negative, you return it back to sender. Let them deal with their own stuff so that you're not taking it on. But one of the things that's really good for making the auric field strong is yarrow. Yarrow can be taken in a flower essence. You can go online and look it up, do your research. It does come in a flower essence form. You can take it. It comes in an herbal form if you need that. But yarrow is really good for strengthening the auric field and makes it strong. Okay? So if you've been hit with a lot of stuff, you want to use that. My creativity abilities have been less flowing lately too, just trying to keep moving forward. Going through my Saturn return. Oh, I know, honey. I hate that Saturn return. Last year and just trying to navigate that's best as possible. What you do is make sure that you stay centered. You don't want to hook into doubt, fear, okay? Because they look for that. They look for you. Are you doubting yourself? Do you really believe in what you're doing? Do you really think it works? Why don't you just give up? Those type of energies, that kind of verbiage that you might hear or feel or sense, that's the artificial light talking to you. That's the one that wants to see if it still can get in there and trigger your butt and get that reaction from you because you have a past, thank you, a past imprinted energy that if you didn't clear it, it's still lingering out here, ready to see if it can come back in and go, bing, okay, triggered, found the key, I'm here now. Now I'm going to go ahead and fester and grow and distract you until you rectify it. Okay, that's how that works. Right now, like I said, game on right now because that light is insane. I've never seen this light so bright. I remember last year when it was coming in and how bright it was. We are in May. This type of brightness in the sun should be only happening right at the end of June or something. But here it is. It's almost like this. Thank you. They accelerated the time to overtake all the negative timelines that were going to be playing out against us. So how do you do that? You accelerate the energy, you amplify it up, which forces time forward ahead so that you're not being taken into an old timeline. Okay? Also, thank you. Remember when you go on to like YouTube and all these places and you see certain people that just come on and you really like them and you subscribe to them. Learn something about this. Subscribing is a consent to that person. Now, don't get it twisted. You have to vet out if that's a real person you're seeing. Because if you're not seeing a real person and that's an AI generated one, there you go. Okay? This is how the game is going to be played. Can you tell the difference between a real person versus an AI one? Yeah. So you keep saying, I will manifest as you say. I hope I wasn't the reason your rest was disrupted. No! No. No, absolutely not, Nikki. Absolutely not. One of the things I want us to really pay attention to is really good that we step into that part of that world of, oh, I want to manifest this, manifest that. But what if we just take that word out, manifest, and just say, I like that. I'm aligning with that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and pull that into my space. I'm going to anchor that here. Do you see the difference? What's the difference with that versus this? I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to manifest that car. Yes, I want a nice, deep, royal blue Porsche with black interior leather. And I want it when I open up the car door, it lights up purple inside my car. Okay. I'm manifesting that. Versus, oh, now, wait, let me take a breath here. I really feel so good about the fact that I see myself driving and I'm feeling into that nice royal blue Porsche. Yes, my seats feel good because they're that leather seat. And on top of that, I like the fact that the special features are, when I open the door, it lights up purple for me. Royalty. And then when I sit into it, it just feels so me. You know what? I really like that. I'm anchoring that. I'm aligning with that right now. And that feels so good. I'm anchoring that because somewhere out there, that higher me already has it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be seeing it if I didn't already have it. Make sense? Think about it. Does that make sense? One feels like pleading in. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's the same thing when we go into prayer. And when you do things like, please, 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 God, God, help me, help me, help me, help me, when you do this. Okay? The universe will know a true situation where you need help versus when you're doing it from a begging form. Because when you come from a begging form, it makes you look as though you forgot who you are and what you are. And that's what's been the game. This is why the babies that are being born right now, they are 5th and 6th dimensional babies. They are already ahead of the game. They're not going to have to work like we do to be able to trust ourselves, to be able to do that, because we got hit with so much amnesia energy. We got put into family situations that were to keep us in a state of being locked in the box, never using the key to set yourself free. So when we finally pick up that energy and we finally say, no, I'm not doing this anymore, and you realize that, that's you taking your power back. Okay? So from this point on, I am inviting each and every one of you, hold that space of aligning and anchoring what it is you desire and saying yes to it. So if you align and say yes to it, then you keep the space of that true connection coming to you. Does that make sense? Hi, lovely. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. So that really sets the bar for when you do it. It's also divine alchemy. When you talk to yourself in that way and say, you know what, that feels really good. Oh, I'm aligning with that. I'm aligning with that. I'm anchoring that. Done. My world. My reality. Done. Okay. Be aware, especially in this time, of what contracts you're signing. If it's for an apartment, a car, a phone, whatever it may be aware of that. Does it feel aligned? Is there any trickery in the written words? Take your time. If it doesn't feel right, don't bind yourself to it. Don't sign it. Okay? Game on right now. Because there's things that's shifting to move us ahead. And their game is, how can we trigger you? And how can we get you to not see what we're really doing to you? Okay? How can we loop you back in? All right? This is the game. This is how it's being played. This is not good for anyone. And I love these particular individuals that, oh, as long as I don't watch anything or hear anything about it, I'm good. Okay. Sometimes you kind of need to be aware of some of the energy, what it's doing, so you know how it's going to disguise itself when it shows up. Okay? Nothing's off the table right now. Your number one thing right now, more than anything, is keeping your light secure. Trusting yourself. Loving yourself. Forgiving yourself. If something happened in your life and you never forgave yourself about it, give yourself permission to forgive yourself. Everyone makes mistakes, but the mistake that we all make, sometimes we just keep hanging on to the mistake we made. And you just never forgive yourself. Forgive yourself so that you can truly move on without the weight of whatever the situation was hanging on you. Playing in the background like some kind of virus, malware, defect. Okay? Forgive yourself. And then if there are things that were going on that you have with family stuff, cut the tie energy of the negativity, cut that energy, and then forgive that energy also. Yeah, I know this is hard. A lot of us have a lot of emotional, mental scarring with this. But when we are working with different portals, today is that one about the mirror. This is that reflecting. The mirror, how it goes on and on and on and on. When you look in a mirror, who's looking at you? Do you relate to what you see in the mirror? Is that the true you essence looking back at you? Because if you're looking at yourself in that mirror and you are not in love with who you are in the mirror, you've got some work to do. At this point in the game, you should be able to look in that mirror and say, hey, what's up? What's going on, Divine One? What are we getting into today? When you need to have that energy lifted up a little more, you should be able to look in the mirror and say, I know you don't feel like doing this, but you need to do this. You need to step it up. You need to go ahead and do this. Okay, I know you did a lot, but why don't you give yourself a break today? It's okay. Take time out. This is the conversations you need to be having with yourself. And things that need to be released, being able to release that. And stop blaming yourself. So many of us have that, what I call the silent blaming syndrome. Something triggered and something happened and you keep blaming yourself. Stop. Because what timeline was that in? If you're going to anchor into this new higher timeline, you got to be able to release the old ones so that they don't come back and trigger you by trying to anchor in. When that happens, that means you didn't really let it go. Because it came up and is trying to loop you back into the cycle. So I want you to think of the artificial light as it's a cyborg. It's a sentient. It is always looking to see where it can get to you. Oh, maybe I'll tap into your boyfriend or girlfriend or your husband or your wife. Okay, I'll tap into your best friend or a friend wannabe. Get them to act out with you. And then I'll get your mom or dad, do something, throw you off track. Brother or sister, throw you off track. Uncle, aunts, throw you off track. Grandmothers and grandfathers, throw you off track. They're going to be using to try to get to you. How can they get you to dim your light? I remember, and I heard this earlier, I think it was yesterday I heard this, where one young lady was talking about, it's kind of hard when you grow up in a family and some of the family members don't want to honor their gifts, but you're honoring your gifts, but then they're telling you you need to dim your light. You don't need to be so bright. When really you should have been taught how to shield and protect yourself, but not dimming your light. Because what happens as soon as you dim your light, then a scenario plays out that will keep that light dim until you try to figure out what the hell is going on while your light's dimmed down. And then that's going into the self and trying to figure out why it's like that. When your light is bright and you carry it, that's a code within itself. And that's a code of honor within that soul. So when that soul matrix that's walking in this suit is presenting that, you have to honor that because you signed up with it. So why the hell would you be afraid of yourself? The most powerful being of you is you. Yourself. You having a relationship with you. And that's where we need to really do the work, because when you love yourself and you really hook into your divineness, you can see all the other shit for what it is. That's a form of royalty. Because of the fact you're like, as if, yeah, really? No, I don't think so. You keep your head up versus keeping it down and not seeing yourself. And this is a really strong message for someone who really needed to hear this today. Because you've just been struggling with everything that's going on around you. It's just really sensitive. This summer, those of us in the United States, we're going to see heat like never before. And it's needed because it's cleanup time. And unfortunately, some are not going to make it through this heat, this light that's coming in. And it's usually going to be the ones that weren't supposed to be here in the first place. Okay, remember what I said? You're sitting at Starbucks with Susie Boo, and all of a sudden she don't look so well. You're wondering why she's looking a little green. And you're going to try to, gee, did you get that new makeup at Sephora? What's the name of it? She'll probably look at you, why are you asking? And be like, just want to know. Oh, look, I gotta go. Okay? Oh my goodness. Just pay attention, because this is about to get really surreal. And everything that I have ever shared on this channel with all of you, my stories are straightforward experience firsthand. Don't need to make it up. I go out and this what the hell was that? And let me share this with you. when you see someone glitching, or you see an opposite energy, you see a human behind you, but you see something else in a glass mirror or glass window in front of you that looks entirely different, don't freak out. Because due to the fact that a lot of them are telepathic, they will hear you go, "What the hell is this?" They'll hear that. And then all of a sudden you'll see them do this. And they take off and go away across the street somewhere, or away in a store somewhere else. But they're watching you because they know you just saw them. All right? Some of you are going to have those, and you're not crazy. Don't fall for the Fruit Loop scenario of, what is it, demon syndrome, whatever the hell that they were going to try to put in your mind. So if you start seeing weirdness with people and stuff, that's what's happening to you. No. Frequency is going to get so freaking high, they're not going to be able. Let's just put it like this. Revlon and L'Oreal is not going to be able to help them. They will not even be able to get a new upgrade from Mission Impossible. That's how that's going on. Even when 23 comes in this month of Mission Impossible, they're not going to be able to use that makeup to help them. Yeah, no, it's gone. Bye-bye. So, with that being said, pay attention to your bodies. Know that if you get waken up and pulled out of a dream, or pulled out of your sleep, and you look at the time and you say, okay, it's 3 o'clock, I'm wide awake, and you feel energized, you were being protected. Okay, your team got you out before some craziness went on. And that's the time when you ask for codes. That's the time you ask for new connection things that you want to learn about. You have a need to learn about something like this, whatever it is. And that's when you ask, so that they can organize that for you. And then you'll get some information pretty straightforward while you're asking. Okay? So grounding, yes. Anchor into the new organic timeline of Mother Earth. Got to be specific right now. You got to say it. Okay? State your intentions. I'm not consenting to anything spoken or unspoken where my soul energy went. I'm not consenting to invasions from negative draconians, reptilians, archons. I do not give you permission to be in my space. I do not give you permission to hijack my dreams and give me your made-up fake ones, or people that look like they're loved ones in my dreams, but they're not really them. Okay? So, game on now. Let's take a look. We have some star codes. I'm going to end with star codes, but we're going to dive into the sacred sea, some dragon, and the other world. So think about today. What is the mirror reflection of this portal? What is that for you? How do you want that mirror to be reflecting back to you? Okay. What you see in the mirror, is it the truth of that? Is that the truth of what you're looking at? And if it's not, then how do you really truly see yourself? Where are you still feeling like you need to release something and be real with yourself? I think that's the hardest thing for all of us, is to be real with the self, to really mean what we say when we say it, and not be fearful to say no when you mean no, and to be watchful. I can't wait to have my own Dragon Medicine Oracle deck. Ketone 1, I am working on as well. Need to save up to be able to get them printed. Good job! I am so glad you're doing that. Good job. I'm working on a set of cards. I got the blank tarot cards design, and it has a butterfly on the back of it. I ordered them off of Amazon. So I am transferring a lot of my coded artwork over to those cards and using a special type of Japanese ink pens to do that, because one of my friends got me the Japanese ink pens to do that work, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. So I'm working with that. But yeah, take your time. Take your time. Let the artwork, your messages talk to you. I think that's one of the reasons why I got into the cards, because before it was just, being a ghost moment, going up and just saying things to people, and things would just come out of my mouth as a message, and my mom would be like, why are you saying things like that? You got that person crying. I said, well, that's what the message was. I didn't mean to make them cry. I had to tell them what the message was. So, and then when I got introduced to my first set of tarot cards, they were the herbal tarot cards, which was really kind of cool. So it kind of took that fear off of, oh, if you're doing tarot, you're going to hell. If you're doing any kind of oracle stuff, you're going to hell. I just got so tired of hearing that, and I'll tell you why. Because it was always going to hell for something, when the same people that are telling you not to do it are the main ones doing it, because they're using it because they know how to do the astrology. They know how to enter into certain Stargate portal work and do that work to get what they want in a line. But yet and still they'll tell you not to do it because they don't want you to do it. Because if you were to just tap into 1 or 2% of your magical whim of who you are, you would just blow their asses away. So why wouldn't they tell you, don't do that? That's the devil. All this stuff. That's just gonna go to hell. And this, you first. Let me know how it's going down there. I just get so sick and tired of hearing it. So, but when you really step into your alignment of your work of who, like I said yesterday, you do not have to seek validation or approval from anyone. The fact that you're here on this planet is approval enough. Putting up with all the shenanigans down here. Jeez. Oh, God. I'm starting. I gotta, hold on a second. Let me. Okay. I don't want to have to turn into a Mrs. John Wick. I had thoughts of that. Because I'm thinking, what's so bad? Just, it'd be over with. What? Putting people through all this stress for what? What? Let's just get it taken care of. There's this advertisement of a show. Oh my God, what is the name of this show? And oh my God, it shows up on, I think it shows up on Pluto whenever I'm watching Pluto. And it's a BET, and it's always shows this, and this one girl says, why are you always telling everybody what to do? You act like you're the boss of everyone. And the lady's sitting there, and she goes, because I am. I was just like, so I like her. Oh, I don't know what that show is, but it's just the way she stands, and she says it, because I am. She says it with such clarity. She didn't even miss a beat, because I am. Why you always feel like you're the boss of everybody? Because I am. All right, let's take a look at what we have. Oh, I like this. Ooh, nice read. Nice read for this portal. What is that show? Why you always feel like you're the boss of everybody? Because I am. We need that on a t-shirt. I love it. Yeah, I had some t-shirt things that I was working on, but it fizzled out. I don't know what happened. Oh, well, maybe it was just a timeline thing. It just wasn't the right timeline. I asked what the biscuits are for. Yes. You know, I just don't know if I can go back to Mel's and ever ask for biscuits again because I don't want to be asked. May I ask what the biscuits are for? They're for Godzilla. I'm telling you, just to hear that, I just was like, no. Is that like a glitch in the matrix that's trying to loop me in through the biscuits? No, the biscuits aren't going to be sacred to me anymore. It's not like I haven't had a good buttermilk biscuit in over, I can't even remember, 2-3 years. And I just said, oh, I like to have a buttermilk biscuit. But never I thought I would be, may I ask what the biscuits are for? Honey, you work here. They make biscuits. What do you eat them? It's your first time on earth. What is this? You know. All right, first card of the Sacred Sea is Dolphin Spirit. Activate more bliss. Oh, I love this. Look at that. Dolphins, I love dolphins. Love, love, love them. They hold the codes. Now, dolphins and the whales, dolphins and the orca whales and the gray whales are the keepers of the water ley line that runs from our reality into the other higher dimensional reality. So a lot of times when people are getting in the waters and they're going too close where they're gonna merge over there and their frequency ain't supposed to be over there, they'll be guided back over here. Because too many of the mer people have been harvested and experimented on. So that water war is still going on. Okay, in a time fractured dimension. That still has not been rectified yet. Okay, just letting you know. So that is the dolphin spirit. Activate more bliss. Be in that happiness energy. They also, with dolphins, they have their own divine codes that if they know that there's something going on with you, all they have to do is just come up and just gently nudge you, touch you, and they can transfer those codes to you to change what's going on in your body, to give you that healing, just like that. So they are so special, and that's why a lot of time, wherever you're going and you see dolphins come up, if there's some kind of like someone watching, not wanting you to interact with them, there's a reason, because that's how intelligent they are. So I'm glad they're here with us in this transitional time right now, because they carry those codes. And with those codes, when they're in the water, they can release those codes and imprint it into the water just with their vibration of their tones of the sounds that they make. They release it into water. So a lot of the water that's on planet Earth right now is going to be extremely upgraded and cleaned up, because Mother has to get, it's kind of like, I don't want to use the word dialysis. It's like her waters have to be filtrated. All the stuff has to come out of that, okay? And then it's going to be able to anchor and hold more of that light. So that water is constantly going through a filtration through the system. In systems, thank you, in systems that are caverns underneath the waters that we have yet to discover or cannot see. Okay? So that's a really important thing as we're going through all this upgrading on the planet. Our dragon today is called Emergence, and it's a golden dragon. And I hope a lot of you took the time to go watch the video that was underneath the post about the dragons to find out which dragon you're associated with. So it's Emergence. The Shaman Star Wisdom Oracle is going to be the Star Child Awakening. Now look at her hands. She has the Andromedan star system in her hands. So the awakening part, really honoring who you are. And setting up that time to meet your star family. I should say meet your star family. Emergence comes with you are responsible for your life, your behavior, and your experiences, and more importantly, how you react to them. Okay, that's the Emergence one. The Shaman Star Child. Let's see what this one is. Oh, I opened right up to it. Follow the path of your heart. Just follow the path of your heart. Follow the path of your heart. Okay, the Other World Oracle. We got, guess what? Nature. We got the mushroom. We got the mushroom family. Now, when you go out to the park or certain places where there's trees and there's really bright, luscious green leaf type of area, this is where you'll find the mushroom gnomes, the fairies. Okay, they'll show up in your pictures, but you got to look real close. Okay, in between that, the purples and the bluish light hues that you might have took a shot on a tree. Like the sequoia trees are really prominent for them. Mainly around sequoia trees. Don't really see it that much around an oak tree. Maybe it's a different type. But this one, this is the nature. Let's see. Nature is about beneath the forest floor lies the mycelium. It is the silent communicator of the earth. Okay, a transmitter of forgotten wisdom and a web of mutual interchanging treasures. So the fungi spirits. Yeah, mushrooms are playing a big, thank you. If you really look at the mushroom, this is the earth form of a jellyfish, and then the jellyfish is the one that has the tentacles because it's in the water. So really, now when you look at a mushroom, it's like an earth form jellyfish, except it's in a plant form. I just made that, I was like, wait a minute. That's what that looks like. It's almost underneath the mushroom. When you look, it almost has the same makeup of a jellyfish. The star codes are this. The Libra is about the balance. This is number 7 energy. So being balanced in spirit, finding your balance. Flip it upside down. It looks like a portion too. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then the coincide one with it is a number 47, 9th house exploration. Where are we exploring at? We're exploring. So last night I was flipping around on TV and I landed on one of my shows, Dr. Quinn. And I thought this was really interesting. They were on this part. I was coming right in on the last part of it, and I said, I don't remember this one. It says the end of the world. When was this one? And so I said, I gotta watch this last part of it. So they had gotten word that a comet was coming that was going to end the world. And they were all running around doing all these things, trying to figure out where to go, what to do, how they, a couple of them were going to be in a cave. Then they all conjugated up and went into a church, hiding out there, hugging onto their loved ones because the world was going to end because of this comet. So it was lightning and thundering and heavy storming was going on. The electromagnetic stuff was happening. And it was like Dr. Quinn ended up doing a surgery on Horace because he had a ruptured appendix. And then Hank was being so stupid because he's like, the end of the world, and why are you going to save him now? We're all going to die anyway, you know. And she's like, no, I have my oath. I hold up on my oath. So she does the surgery, but she walks over to the church to be with everybody over there. And then it's funny, you watch everyone say all these nice things about everything. And then all of a sudden after they finish doing that, it passes through and the whole storm stops. And they're all dazed like it was supposed to hit at midnight. So when the clock struck 12, they're all hanging on to, okay, this is it. We're all going to go because of the comet. And then after it was done dinging, the storm passed. And they were all stunned and looking at each other saying, wait a minute, we're still alive. It's not the end of the world. And I sat there for a moment and I said, wow, how many times have we always been told the end of the world is coming? The end of the world, this is going to be the one that takes us off the planet. Da 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 da. And there's this one thing I always ask, how do they know? How do they know? Did they go talk to the comet and say, are you actually going to impact on Earth today? And exactly what time are you coming? Did they actually do that? It was actually part of speculation and guessing. And it had everybody in so much fear. Fear, fear, fear. And I thought that was really interesting to kind of watch how what their response was, what they were doing. So because of the game that we're in right now, we have to always be wise and really look and see what's the storyline. What's this really all about? Okay. Why are they trying to get us to be in fear mode? Why? You know? And then that's when I thought about something. And once you understand this process, you'll start asking that question. And then what happens, the energy of the plasmic light that's all around us right now will give you the answer. And it's always going to be this thing of, you know what? How did they know that there was going to be some kind of pandemic thing that was going to take place at the time when Trump first went into office? How did they know that? They wouldn't have known if they didn't already plan it. So I think once we get through more of our initiative code uptakes, this is where we're going to be in that place of reflection and say, wow, there needs to be some massive healing for everything that's happened and clearing on those levels because of the fact that they had everyone in a fear-based place. And it's really kind of sad. But it's about to get really good because of you. Yes, you. You, the ones I'm talking to. The ones that have their gifts so interlaid in every part of everything that you do. Your glow sets off vibrational changes. Your smile and your voice helps people to heal. And just even a quiet look gaze can change someone's day. So, I really think that all of you are going to be just fine. You just got to do that one thing. Remember who you are. That's it. Just remember. And not be afraid of yourself. But when you do remember who you are, and you step fully 100% into yourself, and you walk it without judgment on yourself, and you own it, oh yeah, that's the day that you're going to give yourself a big surprise and say, yeah, I'm not one to be messed with. I'm here, and I hope you see me, and I hope you feel me coming right now. Have a good day. Bye.